programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
The Ainu are the indigenous people of Japan who have always had a strong bond with the natural world. Souls are thought to reside within trees, plants, and animals, and there is an emphasis on living in mutual respect with these gods. The Ainu, indigenous people of Japan. Watch on to find out more.
Eka moa oano means hello in Aruan and Kirian. Compassionate viewers, the joyful people of Nauru greatly admire your kind nature and wish you everlasting inner peace. Today, we happily present the show, The Ainu, Indigenous People of Japan. The word Ainu means human in the Ainu language. Ainu mainly reside on Japan's Hokkaido island, with a very small number living in Russia. The informal estimate of the Ainu population is about 20,000 people. However, it is thought that many more people in Japan have Ainu heritage. The Ainu trace their origins to the Jomon people. Interestingly, an Ainu legend states that the Ainu lived in this place, Japan, 100,000 years before the children of the sun came. The Ainu have transmitted their epics, songs, and stories orally from generation to generation. Earliest descriptions of the Ainu people by outside observers tended to focus on their appearance. In particular, the Ainu men grew mustaches and had long flowing beards. After a certain age, males did not trim their facial hair at all. The women often tattooed their mouths, giving their appearance of a wider, bigger smile or larger lips. The traditional dress is comprised of a robe covered with geometric patterns. Genetic studies certainly reveal a fascinating picture of the Ainu people's ancestry. It is thought that the Ainu are descendants of the Jomon people, whose culture flourished between 14,000 BC and 300 BC in what is now modern-day Japan. Experts believe that the Jomon arrived in Japan during the Ice Age via a land bridge that is thought to have connected Japan to Eurasia thousands of years ago. Based on haploid genetic testing, it has been theorized the Ainu's ancestors migrated out of Africa in waves beginning 50,000 to 60,000 years ago. As these groups moved to different regions, it is believed that over time, their bodies began to physically adapt to the environment in their newfound homes. Hence, their appearance changed, with their skin color becoming lighter than when residing in Africa to absorb more of the sun's rays in areas of higher latitude. The Ainu have traditionally had a strong bond with the natural world. In the Ainu belief system, two worlds exist. One is the world of the Kamui, or the world of the gods, and the other is the Ainu world. Souls are thought to reside within natural phenomena such as the trees, plants, and animals, and there is an emphasis on living in mutual respect with the Kamui. One place where a deep connection can be made with nature is Lake Akan, a serene crater lake in the Akan Mashu National Park in eastern Hokkaido. It has been suggested that the traditional Ainu symbiosis with nature is symbolized at Lake Akan by the unique marimo algae balls that appear here. In the Ainu language, the balls are referred to as tokarip or torasampe. This particular species is actually widespread in the northern hemisphere. However, growing into spears is quite rare. The largest balls in the world are found here and reach 20 to 30 centimeters or 8 to 12 inches in diameter after about 100 years. It's no wonder that these algae balls were declared a Japanese national treasure in 1921. The traditional Ainu story of how the Tora Sampe came to be describes that Pekan Bay, a water caltrop which is a type of floating aquatic plant, was enraged since he was expelled from the lake by the deity of Lake Akan, who said that he would pollute the water body. In response, Pekan Bay yanked some grass and threw it into the lake, and this is how the marimo came to be. Unfortunately, there was a period of time when the marimo did not thrive due to various factors. However, the Ainu became an integral part of protecting these algae spheres. Since 1950, the Ainu residents of the town of Akangkohang have hosted the annual Marimo Festival. Each October, when the event occurs, the locals wear traditional dress and have parades and dance shows to honor the Marimo. The culmination of the 3-day festival occurs on October 7th with Marimo Osame, where an Ainu priest goes onto the lake in a small wooden boat and returns Marimo into the lake with reverence and gratitude. We'll now pause for a constructive message and return soon. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to the Ainu indigenous people of Japan on Supreme Master Television. Traditional Ainu dance was designated as an important intangible folk cultural property by the Japanese government in 1984 and was listed as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization or UNESCO in 2009. The traditional style involves a large circle of dancers, sometimes with onlookers, who sing an a cappella accompaniment. Some dancers imitate the calls and movements of animals or insects, such as the crane and typhoon dance. Other dances are in fact rituals. Believing that deities can be found in their surroundings, the Ainu frequently use dance to worship and give thanks to nature. Dancing was also done for entertainment and enjoyment. Another Ainu art form is the yuka or epic poetry. Epics, songs and stories are how the Ainu pass on their knowledge to each new generation. Some of their oral literature such as Yayerak, Sakorope, Oyina or Kamuyi Yuka have melodies. The melodic oral traditions feature stories in which the heroes are animals or nature gods. The performance insert onomatopoeia of various sounds of nature into the melodies. The other type of story is an epic featuring a human with divine power. Both the performance and audience usually sit together by the fireside, and yuka is performed while beating the wooden heart frame with a wooden stick called rapni. Their traditional song style of upupo is quite diverting. Such songs are constructed around rhythmical patterns called akuk, which leads the singer into a trance-like state while performing. Upupo songs were sung and danced to during ceremonies. Today, the contemporary Ainu group Mare Wurewu, which means butterfly, preserve Ainu culture through songs and dances, many of which incorporate upupo. One of the musical instruments that the Ainu play, called the mukuri. This mouth harp is usually made from bamboo or a single piece of wood. The sound is generated by a wooden tongue or reed. which is attached to the frame at one end. The reed vibrates when plucked, and the player uses their mouth as a resonator for the instrument. By changing the shape of their mouth and controlling their breathing, different timbres are produced. Another instrument is the tungkodi, which experienced a revival in the last 2 decades. It is the only string instrument in the Ainu tradition with a long flat body and 3 to 5 strings. The tungkodi is plucked and produces a sound that is distinct from Western and traditional Japanese music. Oki Kano is widely regarded to be the most prominent tongkodi player. In 1992, he received his first tongkodi, which was created by the Ainu of Russia's Sakhalin Island. At the time, there were no active tongkodi players. So he devoted himself to studying the instrument and making them. In 1996, Mr. Kano released his first album, Kamui Koru Nukrupe. He then established Chika Studio to encourage Ainu music artists to share their talents with the public and globally promote the Ainu music tradition. In an exciting development, the National Ainu Museum and Park, nicknamed Upupoi, opened in the town of Shiraui, Japan. Upupoi is an Ainu term meaning singing in a large group. The museum will serve as Japan's center for the revival and celebration of Ainu customs. Visitors will be able to appreciate the Ainu culture around the Lake Poroto area in Hokkaido. We extend our congratulations to the Ainu on the creation of the museum and hope that all who visit will derive great joy in learning about their history and traditions. Delightful viewers, it has been a pleasure to have your company on today's program. Coming up next is Shining World Compassion Award recipient, The Noble Endeavors of Mercy for Animals, Part 2 of 2, right after noteworthy news here on Supreme Master Television. May we always honor Mother Nature in all of her glory.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/CTAW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/CTAW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/CTAW.
Rancangan kami menawarkan banyak bahasa. Sila kunjungi suprememastertv.com/kehadapan schedule dan suprememastertv.com/kehadapan CTAW.